Okay. So.
Yeah, bro. So what do you think of the Lammy Report?
Well, I think, look, the Lammy Report's quite simple. I mean, I think Dr. Susanna Palmer wrote a fantastic critique on it, talking about another report about the criminal injustice system, and she kind of nails it quite right. I mean, the bottom line is that people keep talking about the figures in stop and search, but they don't talk about how stop and searches are conducted, because that's where the racism takes place. But one of the things that irritates me about the Lammy Report, if I'm going to be very honest about it, is the fact it doesn't mention racism. It does everything in its power to skirt away from talking about race. So you've got conscious bias, implicit bias, all these fancy little terms. Well, the bottom line is that we know that there's structural racism inside the criminal justice system.
What do you think about the Powerlist 1000? What do you think about that? Tell me about that.
The Powerlist 1000. Okay, so you're talking about this list of 1,000 most powerful people in the UK, and and the fact that they've decided that, or they found out that only 36 of them are non-European.
Are you surprised though?
Not really, but what I find is the most interesting story is not that 36% of them, or 36 of them out of 1,000, which is 3%, are non-European. I find if you break down this list of so-called BAMER powerful people, and BAMER being, Black, Asian, Martians and elephants, or whatever the new acronym stands for today. If you break that list down, you actually find out that on that list there are only 10 African people on there. So we're talking in the context, if you're looking about how many African people on that power list, not 3%, but it's worse than that, it's 0.1%.
So what's the update on the Rashan Charles report, or the investigation? What's going down now? What's happening? Things have gone a bit quiet from my perspective.
Well, look, the Rashan Charles situation is quite complex. In fact, it shouldn't be complex because we've got a video showing what happened. The IPCC have actually come out openly now and said that the police officer who's involved should be suspended. But the police, the Met Police, have decided that actually no, we're going to put him on restricted duties instead of actually taking him off. So they might take him off the streets, but he's not actually suspended. And this is a problem. The family has actually come out and condemned that. Now, one of the reasons why I've got issues with this is because there's been 2 autopsies. And the reality of the situation is that they still can't, or they still won't tell us what the cause of death is, which means that if they don't know what the cause of death is, they don't know whether that officer, I'm talking about evidence-based, murdered him. So to me, it's quite obvious that he should be suspended until they actually know what the cause of death is.
What about the racist football chanting as well?
It's a chant based on a racist stereotype. It's aimed at an African person. It's a racist chant. It's not rocket science to do that. What's interesting though, and I say interesting in a negative sense, is that the footballer, I've forgotten his name, Man U player, is actually now asked for the fans to stop it. And the fans continued the following week, even though they knew it was offensive. So they can't now say that they didn't know it's racist or offensive. They're singing the chant and saying that nobody can tell Man U fans what to sing. So the police are starting to look to identify some of the people involved in that. We'll have to keep our eyes on this situation. But yes, I mean, you'd think in 2017, people would know better. That's about it for the report this week. Anyway, I'm out of here. May the ancestors continue to guide and protect us. Ashe.